Wow, look what I just found.
This could be useful. The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Is it just me, or is anyone else pecking?
That was almost too easy.
No, and he can stand.
Am I on a roll or what?
well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. Damn it! This could be useful. We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a
The Zeugles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how the astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Linwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really, really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants. How it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, but that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana...
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted. Like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although, at the very least, I have my doubts that earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
To think, all this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rena had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Hevrecht 35 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rena's energy amassing.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed.
As for which is correct, well,
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without... I imagine it's likely that the larger Rena's great...
Everything in moderation. When I...
That's what I like to hear.
No complaints from me.
wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
That was almost too easy.
No enemy can stand against us.
If only every battle went so well.
You sure showed them.
All in a day's work.
Am I on a roll? Or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
We're still standing. Barely.
They're surrounded.
That's what I like to hear.
Hey, stay with me!
I'll be okay. I think.
Damn them!
So those thorns of Shion's, they're really a part of Rena's great spirit?
Most likely. But only a small fragment of it in the big picture. I don't sense a will of its own emanating from them.
If it's that insignificant, is there that much point getting rid of it?
Careful. That's no or-
The sword-wielding Sugal?
And not just one, but four!
It thinks 2 extra hands is enough to beat me. It's sorely mistaken!
Let's just focus on what's important.
There you go! Don't let up!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Go!
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
The water creation radiant light!
Finish it!
Alphen! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! got rid of the sword! Looks like I won after all!
Except it doesn't look like that thing's finished yet. Not by a long shot.
Now you see what I can do!
Spirits within the...
Here, First aid! Here's a healing arc! First aid! Radiant
In a bind?
Where are you going?
This one's mine!
Not in your dreams!
I'll face you!
Radiant blood! Where would that take from?
Demon Fang!
Alphen! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Slash! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Hydration orb! Illuminate the dark! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! The waters of creation!
Demon Fang!
Radiant
Either
Dance!
way.
Immortal Droplet!
Double Demon Fang!
Thank you.
Tidal Wave! Hard Malevolent! Blah blah blah! That's it! The enemy is going all out!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
This looks nice and tough.
What's with that shining foe over there?
Don't get... A hard-won victory.
Step back. This one's all law.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.